Hello, friends. The 893rd day of the war between Russia and Ukraine continues. In the Kharkiv border area, in the Lipsy direction, the situation has not changed significantly over the past week. Positional combat operations continue. In Vovchansk, the enemy has increased pressure on a block of multi-story buildings, attacking south of Korolenko Street and east of Soborna Street. The Russian Federation is also preparing for a new offensive in Vovchansk, the Kharkiv group reports. In Vovchansk, the enemy evacuated medical losses, carried out an internal rotation of personnel, and provided forward positions with ammunition and provisions. In the block of 9-story buildings, they are conducting preparatory activities for assault operations. During a single movement, they are accumulating personnel in basements to continue further attacks on defense positions, the group said in a statement. The day before, Russian bloggers claimed that Russia was making progress in Vovchansk, but the Institute for the Study of War reported that there were no confirmed changes on the front line. In the Lyman section of the Kharkiv direction, drone operators of the armed forces of Ukraine attacked the positions of Russian troops in the central part of Makiivka. The enemy's advance to a depth of 230 meters is recorded. Earlier, the commander of the 1st Assault Battalion of the 3rd Assault Brigade Vovchansk reported that the Russians have made significant progress in the Lyman section, in particular near Makiivka and to the north. The enemy has success there, and quite significant. The enemy is advancing deep into our defense along the left flank. Therefore, I believe that some of the forces and resources were transferred to those areas where success gives the enemy more, Vovchansk said. In the Bakhmut direction, the Russians broke through the Siversky Donetsk-Donbass channel in Chasiv Yar and are fighting in the western part of the city. This was reported yesterday by the military analyst of the German newspaper Bild, Julian Rupp. Russian invading forces have crossed the canal at Chasiv Yar and are now advancing into the first western quarter of the city, he wrote. Rupp made his conclusion from a video published yesterday by the drone unit of the Ukrainian armed forces. Today, the Ukrainian military telegram channel Deep State confirms that Russian troops crossed the water channel in Chasiv Yar and began fighting in the Yevhenii district of the city. The enemy is attempting to gain a foothold on the western bank of the canal. The situation in the city itself is very dynamic, as Russians are crossing the canal in groups of up to 8 people and trying to gain a foothold in private homes. Fortunately, the enemy is being destroyed, but while one group is being eliminated, a new one manages to cross, and so on in a vicious circle. The line of combat engagement is being clarified in accordance with the situation, Deep State reports. Also, while writing the material, Deep State updated its map and reported that the Ukrainian Defense Forces have withdrawn from the Stupki-Golubovsky 2 tract. The situation in the Toretsk direction is very difficult. The enemy continues to press in the remaining western part of Yevhenii, attempting to break through to the territory of the electrical substation with small assault groups, which, if successful, could become a temporary springboard for a breakthrough in the direction of the village of Nelipivka. Taking Nelipivka will put the garrison of the Ukrainian armed forces in New York in a dangerous position. In New York itself, Russian troops are pressing in the western part of the village in the western and northern directions, attempting to bypass the phenol plant and strike at logistics. Fighting continues in the central part of the village. Today, a soldier of the 24th Brigade, Bonyatov, reported that the Russians have already entered Toretsk and established fire control over the village of Nelipivka. According to him, the situation is very sad in New York as well. Also, a Ukrainian officer with the call sign Alex conveys the impressions of the military of the 53rd Brigade about the tactics of the Russians in the Toretsk direction. According to them, the assaults are continuous and they are purely infantry. There is almost no equipment, so drones are ineffective against such attacks. It is stated that the enemy infantry is not simple. In groups of 7 people, first clear one position, and then the second, we have killed, wounded and captured, and the Russians did not even have wounded. In short, they are fighting there very intelligently now. They found some kind of working system, and they are advancing along it. It is very difficult for our artillery to work. There are always 10 to 15 reconnaissance drones in the sector. In order to support the infantry with artillery, it is like playing roulette. The enemy immediately attacks with FPV drones or counter-battery fire, say soldiers of the Ukrainian armed forces. In the Pokrovsk direction, the situation is critical and continues to deteriorate. Earlier, Deep State Project analyst Mikula reported on Ukrainian television that the Russians are transferring new brigades to this direction. Mikula noted that the situation in the Pokrovsk direction is extremely difficult. Ukraine has lost many villages and territories. So far, new Russian brigades are being transferred to the Pokrovsk direction. For example, one of the enemy brigades, which was previously recorded as being defeated in the Krinky area, was restored and is now in the Berdichi area, west of Avdiivka. That is, the transfer continues, and it is difficult to predict how many more there will be, since the enemy does not take into account losses. The Russians have great human potential, which is being used to the maximum, Mikula said. Already today, Deep State writes in its Telegram channel that the Russians have made significant progress in the Pokrovsk direction, which creates a serious threat to the armed forces of Ukraine. An extremely difficult day. The enemy seems to have broken loose. Assault operations continue north of Yevhenii. In addition, the enemy has achieved tactical success east of the village and is attempting to bypass it. This maneuver threatens the defense forces group on the eastern bank of the Vovchansk River. The Russians continue to storm Yevhenii from the west and are already on the outskirts of Serhiivka. The enemy is also storming Yevhenivka and wants to bypass Lysytny from the south. The defense forces are reinforcing this area, but there is no panacea for the enemy's superiority in manpower. In the previous days, a significant portion of the attacks were repelled, but the enemy brought up fresh assault units from Vovchansk on Saturday. Vovchansk itself is the enemy's main hub, and its loss in April of this year will come back to haunt us more than once, Deep State reports. Friends, this channel exists solely thanks to your support. If you have the opportunity and desire to support the channel, I will be very grateful to you. Thank you very much and see you in the next video.